Hello everyone and welcome to my very quick review of the 2022 Genesis G70 with the 3.3 litre twin turbocharged V6. Here I'm in the top trim configuration of this vehicle, the Sport, with the upgraded Napa leather interior, a sports tuned suspension and a couple of other great features. Now I haven't had too much time with this vehicle and I really wanted to make a video of it to sort of show off the differences of the Genesis G80, which was a vehicle that I thought was absolutely stunning. Brand new architecture, brand new clean sheet of design for Genesis to do exactly what they want to do, as compared to this, which is a vehicle that was developed at the same time as the Kia Stinger and shares a platform with that vehicle, which similarly had a 2022 model year update, although not quite as impactful as this one. So let's first get on the road and talk about this compact sports sedan and how it drives, because it is very much a sports sedan. It has a nice firm ride. The steering is actually quite rich and the Brembo brakes are just fantastic in this vehicle. The 3.3 litre twin turbocharged V6 makes 365 horsepower and 379 pound-feet of torque. Pretty healthy, respectable numbers, and all versions of the G70 here in Canada come with an 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive manual model in the 2-litre engine was killed off for this generation, but that 2-litre engine is still available. So just what Genesis is trying to achieve with all their other vehicles: give a premium car experience at a substantial discount over the long-established German rivals. And in the case of this, we're talking about the largest 6-cylinder engine coming at a significantly lower price than BMW's M340i, a Mercedes C43, or an Audi S5 or S4. And in terms of driving dynamics, I really do think Genesis is on par with something like an Audi S4, S5. It has a lot of great involvement and really just a lot of road information coming into the driver's seat. It's something that I want to take hard into a corner just to try and explore the limitations of the vehicle. But the engine really isn't all that exciting. You can knock it down quite a few gears, which the transmission, I would say, is pretty responsive, but more than a few times it's just refused a downshift where I might have hoped to go down a gear. So the important thing to know about right now is that you're not hearing any artificially enhanced noises, because in the G70 you can turn them off. Super simple option, and that's an ability I really like, because I want to know that the sounds that I'm hearing are authentic and real. And even though it's quieter, a bit distant, and honestly not that exciting, the amount of frustration I get from that synthesized, pumped in audio, it's enough to honestly give me a headache. So I really appreciate that Genesis gives you this super simple option. But yes, at the end of the day, it still leaves you with a V6 that is nowhere near as potent as what you would find in the Audi or the Mercedes, and certainly nowhere near as charming as what you would in BMW's straight 6. But overall, driving dynamics, very, very competitive, and the interior of this G70 is quite astounding. Like I said, I'm in the top trim model, and here you can see the beautiful red leather across the dash, the red leather on the seat, and all the diamond stitching throughout is fantastic. But as I mentioned at the beginning, there are still some budgetary components that you would see in Hyundais of past, or Hyundais currently as well, and Kias of past, and Kias as the moment is right now. But I feel like Genesis, in this model specifically, could offer an extended leather package that could really perhaps sell those that have to have, full leather in their Audi to make it feel like a premium vehicle, because everything else in this cabin is as good of quality as what you would find in an S4 or an S5. I am not joking when I say that it is down to like the final percentages here in this G70 to overpass those long established brands. So I really do believe that if Genesis were to offer some kind of $1,000, $2,000 package on top of the G70 for an extended leather option, so you could have as beautiful as leather that you have right here where you rest your arms, or the diamond stitching, where the black plastic components are, like here on the door cards or right across the dashboard, then we would be talking about absolute final percentages that would separate this cabin from something like an Audi or a BMW. The 10.25 inch screen is a different size to what it is in the G80, but still is 10.25. Beautiful interface, really snappy. Love the way that looks and works. I wasn't too keen on the split analog and digital screen that you have for the instrument cluster, but it actually does work together quite well. You don't have to adjust your eyes for the brightness or the clarity between the analog speedo and the digital tack and all the other things that you can select for the center screen. At the end of the day though, the G70 is not perfect. The second row of seating, if you're my height, is pretty shocking, even for a compact sedan. There's plenty of vehicles I've gotten into in this class where I could at the very least get in and out without clamoring through the doorway. Footroom is incredibly tight, there's no headroom, so keep it to anybody under 5'8", I think, for the back row. On the highway, when you're cruising, the G70 is definitely a little louder on the inside, a little more boominess from the exhaust than what you'd find in a BMW or an Audi, but really not enough that makes me think that we're still in a mainstream brand that's just slapping a whole bunch of more expensive materials and just calling it a day from there. And then wrapping things up, talking about the exterior changes, because they are substantial for the 2022 model year, bringing the G70 much more in line with the looks of the rest of its family. I really like the way this vehicle looks, quite sharp, now has its own personality, and it has a real presence on the road. So there you have it. Those are my quick thoughts towards the 2022 Genesis G70 3.3 V6. Unfortunately, haven't been able to spend as much time with it to get more nuance from behind the wheel, give some perhaps more personable stories with it. But if you're shopping in this class, and let's say you are going for the entry-level versions of the BMW 3 Series or the entry-level Audi A4 or A5, do consider the 2-litre version of this, but then also the 3.3, because with Genesis, you get all of those built-in ownership benefits. You get a very healthy list of standard equipment that you would have to pay extra for in those German brands. So essentially, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't go and have a look at this G70 if you're looking in the compact sports sedan segment. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again on the channel soon.